Larry Ray is someone who can become whoever you want him to be and whoever he needs you to think he is. Larry Ray is Larry Greco, one thing. It's the name he was born under.
Larry grew up in Brooklyn. I mean, if you hear him, he's a quintessential Brooklyn boy.
At a certain point, his parents divorced and mom remarried a man named Gordon Ray, and Larry took his stepfather's last name. He served in the military for 19 days. He was discharged for reasons that are unclear. He married his high school sweetheart, Teresa.
He's known a lot of people. He's known a lot of connected people. He seems to sort of fit in where he goes, whether that be law enforcement or reportedly he had some mafia connections in Brooklyn.
He seemingly knew everybody, really good friends with Bernie Kerik. Bernie Kerik was the New York City police commissioner.
And he was somebody Giuliani had brought up from just being an undercover cop into being like a, high-ranking member of the administration.
In 1995, I met Larry Ray. We would work out together, we'd have coffee, have lunch. He was extremely charismatic. He was very smart, very, very smart.
It's this sort of like mutually beneficial business relationship, but it's also a real friendship. Larry's the best man at Bernie's wedding.
Looking back, it's kind of strange. You know, you get married, you have all these wedding photos, and I've got 1,000 wedding photos, and not one has my best man in it. They've all been discarded.
And Larry Ray helped Kerik broker an introduction between Rudy Giuliani and Mikhail Gorbachev.
Larry was flying into JFK, and he comes out of the international terminal, and he says, "Bern, I want you to meet President Gorbachev." I said, "Okay, all right." I told him there. I said, "Gorbachev is here. He'd love to see you if you have a minute." And Giuliani said, "Absolutely, bring him down."
For a politician like Rudy Giuliani, that kind of photo op is worth more than its weight in gold.
It was pretty slick.
You've got this guy who just spent years in prison. He lands in this dorm with these young, vulnerable, eager roommates of his daughter who adores him, who basically set them up to like him. And so for him, you can see where his little wheels are turning and thinking, oh.
Isabella was clearly the closest to Talia and the closest to Larry. And Larry would often sleep in Isabella's room.
Ray told residents of the apartment that she needed help, she needed supervision, essentially. You know, instead of it being something sexual, he was really just there to supervise her through the night.
I was pretty freaked out at first. I didn't really know what to think. I thought it was weird. He got her, like, this coat that she really loved that was, like, significantly more elegant than her other clothing. So she seemed to, like, actually open up more after meeting him. He just said that he was helping her through some psychological issues or emotional issues she was having.
And then at the end of that semester, Isabella's parents get a phone call from Larry.
He said if she comes home for Christmas, she's going to be reliving trauma and she's going to kill herself.
He told them that, Isabella didn't feel safe with him. That was a complete shock.
He was breaking her from her family the purpose is separating you from friends and family, any support system you may have had. And obviously making the decision for her that she wasn't going to go home. And Isabella isn't protesting that. So the family gets completely flummoxed, like, what the hell's going on here?
But their hands were kind of tied. I mean, you can't take an adult away from a situation she wanted to be in.
And so it's the beginning of breaking everyone off from anyone else.
My name is Lee Chen. I'm a businessman based primarily here in Manhattan. When I first remember meeting Larry Ray, he was a person with a commanding presence. We had engaged in several business dealings. He seemed like a very kind person. I thought that he was caring, and he exhibited signs that he had a lot of compassion. There was a time during Christmas break, Larry had brought back to my apartment not only Talia, but also Isabella Pollock.
Larry would take them out to these lavish dinners. He'd often pay in cash. He had all this cash in his backpack. Larry is in control of everything. What they eat, where they go, what they do. And there's a really odd kind of dynamic between Larry and Isabella, which seems really sexual, even though it's supposedly all about helping her.
What he was doing was establishing full control. He's away from the campus, any people saying what the hell's going on there. And so he is reinforcing that separation from the outside world.
Often, I wasn't there because I had been traveling for business. When I came back from the trip, he had moved himself into my bedroom. But it wasn't just him. And it wasn't just him and Talia. I only had one bed in my bedroom. It was him, Talia, and Isabella. And they were sleeping in my bed, all together.
Larry's stroking Isabella's hair on the bed and calling her his baby girl. She's, 19, maybe 20? This man's in his 50s. And, she's sleeping in his bed every night so he can help her, whatever that means.
It was methodically choosing one person who became totally dependent on him and then could sort of systematically work through the rest of the people.